What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Irvin. As you can see by the title and the thumbnail, I got a different video for y'all today, man. And in today's video, I'm gonna show y'all, I'm gonna explain to you guys how I afford my 2019 Dodge Charger Scatpack in 2024. If you're new to the channel, man, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We just hit 200 subscribers. You know what I'm saying? My last video got like, I think 1,000 views. So yeah, man, we just starting this. You know what I'm saying? Got 1,000 views. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. How y'all? This is the thing, man. I get 1,000 views and I don't get that much subscribers. So why y'all not subscribing to the channel? Y'all watching the video, but you're not subscribing. So subscribe to the channel, man. Make sure y'all do that. But yeah, we're gonna get straight into it. So let's go. All right, so boom. So before I get into like how I form my Scatpack, I'm gonna do like a little story time of leading up how I even got my Scatpack. Quick little story time. So for you guys that do not know, I did have a Dodge Charger GT, which is the V6 model. I had that when I was 18 years old, man. I was still in high school. That was like a little graduation gift. So I had that, man. I was working at Walmart. I was 18 at the time. I was 18, had that. And I was working at Walmart, man. You know, the typical high school job, working at Walmart, stocking shelves, all that. So yeah, I was 18, man. Working at Walmart, had a V6 Charger. I think I worked at Walmart for like a year or two. And then working. Then I was like, man, I want a Scat, bro. I was like, man, I found out, you know, what Scats were, because at the time I wasn't too big on like, you know, these cars. Like, I never even thought about even owning a Charger or nothing like that. I really just wanted like a Mercedes or a BMW. Honestly, I never even wanted no muscle cars. So it was like, I got that, and then I started finding out about Scats and Hellcats and all these, and I was like, bro, I gotta get me one of these. So fast forward, man, I turned 19. I quit Walmart and I started working with my dad. So my dad is he works at a concrete pipe plant. Basically makes like a concrete pipe. If you don't know, it's like construction work kind of. So I started working out there with him, and I think it was like the first month I worked out there with him. Started saving up some money, and then we just went to go get a Scat, man. So that's really how I did it. I ain't gonna lie. Really, it was just like, I worked at Walmart, had a V6, left Walmart, worked with my dad, making more money, making more hours, and then we just went to go get a Scat. So, all right, y'all. So that was like a little backlash of my story of how I led up to getting a Scatpack. So now I'm gonna tell y'all how I afford my 2019 Dodge Charger Scatpack. So my monthly payment on my 2019 Dodge Charger Scatpack is $9.99 a month for my car payment. Basically $1,000 if you just want to round it up. So I pay $1,000 on a 2019 Dodge Charger Scatpack, and my insurance I pay is $400 a month just for insurance. So in total, I'm paying $1,400 just to drive a Scatpack. Is it worth it? It just depends if you want to pay that type of money. Me personally, I can afford it, so it's like, yeah, it's not bad, but it could be cheaper. But so you guys probably wondering, why is my payment $1,000 a month? Why am I paying $400 for insurance? And I'm gonna explain to y'all. So back in, I think I got my Charger Scatpack in like 2020. So if you guys don't know, back in 2019, 2020, that is when it was like the prime, or it was at its peak. Them Hellcats and Scats, they were like, everybody had to have one. Everybody knew about them. And it was just a trending car. So it was like, the prices on them were just so high. You know, dealerships had them marked up. And at the time, I didn't care about the price. I'm not gonna lie. I saw people had them. I've been in one. I drove one, and I was like, man, I gotta get one. And I was like, I don't care about the price. I just want one. So I think my price came out to, on my Scat, I think came out to, it was like 52 or 53,000, and it was used at the time. It was used, you know, and I think it had like 30 or 40,000 miles on it. So it wasn't brand new. You know, it was 2019, 30, 40,000 miles on it. So it kind of wasn't the best deal, but at the time I was rushing, so it was like rushed into it. You know, I didn't probably put any money down. At the time, I had a little negative equity on my V6, so it rolled over to my Scatpack. It was, I think it was like maybe like $1,500, $2,000 that, you know, they added on, but that increased my payment a little bit. And then at the time, I didn't have, you know, I had a credit score, but I didn't have the highest credit history or credit score, so I had to have a cosigner. So, you know, back then they wasn't really relying on my credit, so it was really my cosigner's credit that they were relying on. So, you know, I got hit with a kind of a big interest rate. You know, I think it was an interest rate like about 11 or a 12. I think it was a 12% interest rate I got hit with. Yeah, I think it was. So it was like I got hit with a 12% interest rate, which brought me to like $1,000 a month. You know, I didn't get gap insurance. I didn't get warranty. I didn't get none of that. So really, if I was to get all the other add-ons, I probably would have been paying more. But I walked out there with a $1,000 car payment, and I was like, man, I'm not trying to, you know, that was kind of on the Scat, really. A good deal on the Scat, really. Monthly payment is around $700 to $800. Maybe high sixes on a Scat. But anywhere like $1,000 or $1,100 for a Scat, man, it's really not worth it. Now, if you can afford it, then it's, hey, that's on you. But if it's kind of, if you can't afford that, man, and you're really trying to get something in your budget, man, don't a Scat, $1,000 a month for a Scat, it's not worth it, man. $1,000, nah. You should be paying that on like a Hellcat, maybe $1,000, $1,100 on a Cat, man. So advice I would give you guys that are in the market of buying a Scat, that are my age, 19, 20, 21 years old, is they got a bunch of Scats out there you can buy. But my thing is, don't spend all that money on a Scat and it has high mileage. Because I had a friend that just bought a Scat. I think it was a 2019 or 2018 Scatpack, and he bought it with like 70,000, 80,000 miles on it. And it was, I think he got it for like high 30s, low 40s. And my thing is that you're spending all that money on a used Scatpack with high mileage, and you already, first of all, you already know how you're gonna drive it. You know you're gonna dog it out. You know you're gonna just dog the car out and beat the car down. So it's like you're buying a Scatpack that's already high mileage. Already your payments are already gonna be high. Insurance is already gonna be high. You know, you're buying a car with high mileage like that. Plus it's a Scat, so it's like things will go wrong with it. You know what I'm saying? You're already paying high car payment, insurance. Now you're having car problems. So if you're in the market to get a Scat, man, just try to get one that's fairly new. It don't gotta be 5,000 miles or, you know, 10,000 miles off the lot. You know, it could be 25, 30,000 miles, but try not to get one with that much miles, because it's like you getting one already that has been beaten up. Now you about to be the second or third person to do the same thing, and you already paying a high car payment, which is, it doesn't make sense. You're not gonna have a car blown. So I recommend don't doing that. You know, if you want one of these cars, man, just wait, find the right one, and when you find the right one, just go after it, man. Don't try to get no used Scat just because you see one and be like, oh, the price is right. Yeah, the price is right, but the mileage ain't right. So it's like you getting a used car. Yes, a Scat, but it's like it has high mileage. Basically, you're getting a Scat, but it's not. The price is good, but the car ain't the best. You know what I'm saying? So you're not gonna have it for long. So that's just my opinion. You know, to each his own, but I don't recommend doing that. You know, unless you plan on keeping the car for a couple months and just getting something else. But it just don't make sense financially. But yeah, man. So insurance, man. I paid $400 for insurance. Really, it was higher than that. I had tickets. If you guys probably already know, but tickets make your insurance go up even more. The car you have, depending on your age, makes your insurance go up even more. At the time I was 19 and I had a Scatpack, so you know what average 19-year-old is not supposed to be in no Dodge Charger Scatpack with 45 horsepower. That's, you know, so it was really, what was it? Really, it was like $600. It was like $600-700 at the time I was paying for insurance. Yeah, it was like $600, but you know, it went down. My driving record was good. I wasn't getting much tickets. It went down, and so now I just pay $400 a month for my insurance. Another tip I would tell you guys is that every year, so every year everybody has tags on their car, right? So it's something called property taxes. So property taxes it's that little sticker that you have to pay for every year. And when I first got my Scat, I think my property tax was like, I don't even know, it was like $400 or $500, and I was like, what? Just for that little sticker that you gotta pay for? So it's another like little thing that you gotta stay be mindful of. You gotta pay property taxes. It's not cheap. I think for Scats it's probably around $300-$400, maybe $500 on the low end. But that's another thing that you gotta look out for. This car is not cheap at all. Everything about this car is expensive, from gas to oil change. Oil change on this car is about $130, $140, $140. Yeah, easily. I mean, if you do your own oil, you're not doing your own oil change, then by all means go ahead. But if you don't know how to do that, man, you take it to dealership, it's about $130, $140 easily out the door. But yeah, man, this car's not cheap. Everything about it is expensive. Another tip I would give you guys is that if you buy this car and it's kind of not in your budget, if you can make it work, but you just can't be driving it all the time, doing this and that, treating it how like people just be dogging these cars out. And this is like, I'm gonna give you guys is that if you do buy this car, whenever you guys do buy the car, man, don't be dogging it out. Don't be beating the car down to the ground, man, unless you got money like that. If you got money, then you can just be slinging your car, doing burnouts and just whatever you want to your car, man. If you got the money to fix it and just do whatever you want to it, by all means go ahead. But if you don't, man, it's gonna be expensive. If you always sliding your car, you always doing burnouts, tires is not cheap unless you got a plug, man. I got a couple friends of mine that they got a couple plugs that always giving them some tires. So this car get really expensive, man. I feel like people underestimate how expensive this car is. People probably watch a bunch of videos on YouTube, and a lot of people say, this car's expensive, and they probably watching and be like, man, that car's expensive. But when you actually own one, you actually own it and drive it, it gets expensive. Especially if you don't have another car and you're daily in this car, it really gets expensive because you also got to worry about maintenance, gas, wear and tear. It's a lot. So it's a lot, but I can afford it. I work, I get paid every week. I work 6 days sometimes. So it's like I make the money to afford it. So if you out there, man, if you my age, man, and you want a Scatpack or a Hellcat or any car, just not a Scat, but for my people that out there that want a Scat, if you want a Scat, man, and you my age, bro, just work, man. Just work. You can have it, man. You can if you can get one, bro, just work. Just work, save your money, manage your money. You know what I'm saying? You can have it, man. It's people out there my age that don't even have these cars yet, that want these cars. You know what I'm saying? It's never too late. Just because you don't have a Scat right now or RT or whatever, it's not too late. You can still get one of these cars. I'm just giving y'all some updates on what to look forward to if you do buy the car in 2024. Another thing I would say, guys, is that it is 2024. Back then, people was not stealing these cars like that. But now, if you have a Scat or a Hellcat and you my age and you're looking to get one, bro, you need some type of protection. And I'm not talking about gun or that. You can't get a gun like that, but I'm just talking about protection for your car. So people be stealing these cars. If you have a garage, make sure you put it in your garage. Do not leave it out in your house, especially depending on what type of environment you live in. If people be stealing cars or outside late at night, do not have your car just laying around outside. Just don't do that. Your car get broken in and it gets stolen, and then you gotta go through the whole process of just doing all that. So just it's kind of, I feel like it's kind of hard to own one of these cars in 2024. Just because of how everything is going. People be stealing them, so it's like you already paying high payments. Now you got to worry about people stealing your car. You got to buy wheel log and stuff for your security for your car, and it's just like luckily I don't have to worry about that. The environment or the neighborhood I stay in is low. I don't have to worry about that. That's one thing I am truly glad I don't have to worry about. Sometimes I don't even leave my car in the garage. I just leave it outside in my driveway. So, you know, I don't have to worry about that. But everybody's different. Everybody everybody don't got it like that. So, you know, that's another thing I would tell y'all, you know. Also, I would tell y'all guys is that, you know, when you're young like that and you're 19, 20, 21 years old, there's no problem with getting a cosigner. That cosigner is going to help you out in getting the car that you want. Really, that cosigner is going to help you establish credit and build your credit. You know, so some people try to get a Scat or a Cat or even an RT on their own, but you got to look at it as to where the bank is not going to finance somebody that young, expensive car like that, if they have no credit history. So if you have a cosigner out there that will be able to cosign for you and make your payments cheaper or even help you just to get approved, you know, there's nothing wrong with getting a cosigner. When I first got my Scat, you know, I had my dad cosign for me. You know, at the time, like I said, I didn't have good credit. I didn't have no credit history, so I had to get a cosigner. So there's nothing wrong with getting a cosigner. You gotta start somewhere. You know, even if you guys can't get a Scat or RT, you know, get a cosigner for just, you know, a little car. Get a car, you know, pay it off, or not even pay it off. You know, just pay it for a year and a half. You know, save up some money. You know, and then go try to get a Scat, or then go try to get a RT or a Cat. You know what I'm saying? You know, that payment, your credit history helps a long way, because, you know, when you're young like that, you don't have no credit history. That's really what they want to see, is your credit history. You can have a 720 credit score but no credit history. So it's like, yeah, you got a good credit score, but it doesn't do anything because the bank doesn't see that you haven't paid for anything. That's really what they want to see. They want to see that you have stuff under your name that they can look at, that, okay, he's made this payment, he's made this payment, he's made this payment. But if you don't have anything, you know, for them to look at that you've been paying on, it's like, yeah, you got a good credit score, but we want some credit history. So that's another thing of why they say you need a cosigner. So it's not wrong with getting a cosigner, you know what I'm saying? These cars are expensive. Back then they were expensive. They still are expensive. So yeah, it's just, you know, it's a lot of young people have cosigners that are, you know, they won't tell you, but a lot of young people, they won't tell you, but they have cosigners, and there's nothing wrong with getting a cosigner. From your point of view, you just want to get the car, you want to get it financed, and you just want to be on that loan so that you can also build your credit and get your credit to where it is and establish credit history. That's all you really. It's like a cosigner is really just. It's like they just helping you out start off. You know what I'm saying? Everybody don't got it like that. Everybody has to, you know, work harder and establish credit, and, you know, everybody don't have just a boost and just get a cosigner, and their cosigner can get them on a Scatpack or a Hellcat or 19. So it's like everybody don't got it like that. So my tip for you is, you know, if you're in that boat, you know what I'm saying, you can still get one of these cars. It's just gonna take you a little longer. You may gotta do things that you don't want to do that other people didn't have to do. You know, but you can still get the car. Being that young, you just gotta work a little harder for it, and, you know, it's gonna happen. Just put the work in. But yeah, man, you guys are probably wondering how I afford my Scatpack, man. What I do is I'm a crane operator at a concrete pipe plant. So I just walk around, well, not walk around, but I operate a machine. I create concrete pipe / crane operator. So I make the pipe, you know, then I move it to where it needs to be at. I didn't go to school for it. I have a family member that works in the concrete business, so he got me into that. It pays pretty good, you know. I like the job. Gets paid every week, so if my car payment's $1,000 a month and my insurance is $400 a month, that leaves me $1,400 that I have to pay for. And I get paid weekly, so 1 week I pay for my Scat, another week I pay for insurance, and then I got 2-3 other checks. You know, I'm getting paid every week to myself. So that's another thing. You know, you gotta prioritize, you know, your bills, what you gotta pay for. You know, sometimes I spend $300-$500 on gas a month. You know, I spend $100, $150 a week on gas sometimes. That's just on weekends. You know, just me driving. So you know, it gets expensive. Today's video, man. I hope y'all like this video. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel, man. Like this video. Get this video to, give me to 100 likes, man. Give me to 100 likes, and I'll drop another video. It's your boy Irvin, and I'm out.